We have undermined America's greatest geopolitical asset of all, and that is not our nuclear arsenal. It is our moral standing on the global stage. That's how you get Disney, who 2 years ago will say it can't shoot a film in the state of Georgia if Georgia passes an anti-abortion statute. That it says it cannot abide a new law in Florida that prevents public school teachers from teaching 6-year-olds about transgenderism and gender identity, but will go in the same period to film Mulan in the Xinjiang province of China, literally ground zero of the Uyghur human rights crisis, where there are over 1 million religious minorities enslaved in concentration camps, subject to forced sterilization, communist indoctrination, and worse, without saying a peep, until the very end of the movie. You could still see it in the credits today, where they say, "We thank the local authorities for allowing us the privilege of filming here." Reminds me of those trees in Harlem. That was what Disney got out of that trade. But it turns out every other company's doing the same thing. Nike, BlackRock, Airbnb, JP Morgan Chase, the NBA. Why do they do it? The answer is actually really simple. It comes down to money. Because if you're the CCP, you build a great Chinese wall that prevents you from entering the Chinese market if you criticize the CCP. But if you criticize the United States or hamstring its economy with those emissions caps, we will roll out the red carpet. And so companies do what companies do. That is why Tim Cook and Larry Fink are Xi Jinping's circus monkeys. He will say jump, they will say how high, because it comes down to their bottom line. It is the direct product of a bipartisan consensus in this country back in the 1990s. Conviction in the faith of democratic capitalism. The idea that somehow we could use capitalism as a vehicle to spread democracy to places like China. The idea that we could export Big Macs and Happy Meals and somehow that was going to spread freedom. Well, what they realized is they could turn that game on its head. We thought we could use our money to get them to be more like us. They realized they could use their money, access to their market, to get us to be more like them. Or even one step better than that they could use our money to get us to be more like them. Sending back those Disney movies and iPhones as Trojan horses to undermine the United States from within. So that is the problem, as I see it. The concentration of state power and corporate power that lends itself to capture, facing down a threat far more deep and dangerous than anything we've faced in our nation's history. The Soviet Union did not supply the shoes on our feet or the phones in our pocket. That is what makes our unique moment far more complicated than anything I think we faced in the latter half of the 20th century.